Hello, hello, my little foxies. We... Sorry about this. Welcome... Welcome to, Numrini'th I'm trying to say this. Hold on. Numrini'th Lueltar. And it's in the middle of his quest during the Crimson March, keeping the Borderlands. Now I will let Omen know that it is time, by doing this. Omen!
Yo!
It is time for you to recount to us the history of this Crimson March on the Keep of the Borderlands.
Alright, let me go ahead and dial some stuff in. Maybe I should copy and paste and then read.
Yes!
I'll do that first real quick.
So people know, while this is going on, Namri. Okay, I shorten his name to Nam because his actual full name is very hard to say, but it's a Drow elven name. So Numrini'th is a Drow elven, full-blooded Drow elven male, who is a Faighter-Mage. He has hidden his mage side from his Drow elven people, to the point that he finally was able to escape before they figured out he was mageborn, and was able to cast spells. He escaped into what we have called the Altar Realms on Omen, on Omen's side, and he lives his life normally, or did, normally as a man who tasted wines. He enjoyed brewery of all sorts. But he also had herbalism, he's also a historian, and he was very fascinated by the Crimson Knight. Now, fast forward to where we are now. Nam, N-U-M, I'm not joking, has gone back in time, during the histories that he's learned, to the Crimson March. And now, and now he's the advisor of the Crimson March.
What would have been Crimson Knight. However, now she is quite literally Sinette Tellenbrook, Margravine, displaced after her brother sided with the forces of Elwyn, who were basically just assholes all around. We won't go into the raping, the pillaging, the dragons, the amazingly weird, crazy shit they were doing. However, you guys found that refugees were, swiftly taken, stolen into slavery, various other things, and your entire job originally was to save the refugees, which you did admirably. We won't say who you missed because that doesn't matter right now. All right, so I'll give you the it won't be the base bones. It'll be pretty much what I got. Give me a second. All right, the forces of Talonbrook have encountered a ruined forest on the edge of the uncharted, quote-unquote, lands, giving proof that people had come before them. Margravine and Sinette Talonbrook deemed these lands the holdings of the Crimson March. The ruins are being recovered as masons and the like set to repair the walls and infrastructure. This fortress has been named Firsthold Keep. The red banners and streamers extending from the walls are marked with black dragon wings intersected by a sword tipped down on a crimson field with gold and silver. Beyond the ramped road and sturdy walls, a small community is being built within the keep's shadow, figuratively. To the north of the keep is a vast forest, and portions of a forgotten road have been recovered from the wilderness. To the south and east sits a mixture of hill lands and wet bogs. To the south and west is the worn road leading to a river outpost close to the hill, or on the hill. A river runs through the lands south of the road, carving a path through hilly forest terrain and the swamps running east to west. Now, to give a little bit other play in, that particular road to the north, which has been deemed as being recovered and broken in its way, and hundreds, maybe more years old, caravans and whatnot seem to press their way upward, and from time to time, and most times, in some cases, don't come back. Well, one assumed a long time ago that they had just gone for a long stretch off beyond the uncharted realm. However, after some time, road patrols were sent out to find out if indeed they were just not coming back. And those road patrols didn't come back, or at least some of them. The last word was brought down from one of the groups, the survivors thereof, the road patrol, indicating that they had been raided by mixed groups of humanoids and other such things. What was worse was that magic seemed to have been involved, and due to the report, Nam, with his extensive knowledge of magic of various types, was sent out with an investigation team from the 1st Infantry Unit. Now, that resulted in him finding out that there was a cult activity that seemed loosely tied to the cult he had seen earlier on the hill, but not close enough. Meanwhile, they were sent deeper in and found themselves in a gorge full of tunnels, a canyon that was kind of like a box canyon filled with walls, layers, holes that dig into the sides, some of which seemed natural, but as Nam and those that went with him plumbed the depths as lightly as they did, found that parts of them were actually carved out crudely by, well, let's just say it wasn't natural means. They had ended up fighting goblins, some hobgoblins, bits and bobs, and were recovering mercantile folks and road guards, and finally a person of the road patrol. Meanwhile, however, every time they pushed north and caused problems, back at the keep, humanoids seem to have raided outside the edge of the trees. They become a little more cagey piece by piece. Nam had reported back to the keep at least 2 or 3 times, at least, to come into the High Council where they discuss things. Meanwhile, let's just say a little bit long, when they finally led themselves a defense against the main force trying to push in, one of the newly found people, an elven ranger, which is extremely rare in this location, seemed to have suffered from some sort of poison, which made no sense. It wasn't goblin poison because Nam had seen it before. It was something else entirely. Also, it was something akin to strychnine. It was something used to kill vermin. Also, there was conflict between the recognized church members that were traveling with the refugees and the church members they came across when they tried to refit the keep, I guess you could say. Now, for just hilarity, this religion is very, very, very insanely loosely tied to Babylonian stuff. Therefore, the accepted religion at this time is the demigod Gilgamesh within the House of the Sun, or Shamash, tied to Ishtar. However, the ones they met on the way in is Marduk. Now, Marduk, in and of itself, is actually quite admirable. But due to the fact that the elf itself was tied with, when the forces came forward to utilize healing and herbalism and whatnot, the Marduk folk, speculation has begun to twist, wondering exactly what those people were. They refused to join the church that was being rebuilt and instead stay in their own built fortification. A lot of questions have been aroused. Well, I mean, Marduk is the god of gods, perhaps. And despite efforts to bring them to the church that's being rebuilt, the chapel that's being rebuilt, of course they refuse it, stating that they have already established their business. But at this point in time, while the Inklings are there, Talon Brooks, Annette herself, decides to set what she sets. Meanwhile, she has tasked Nam and the 2nd Infantry, which was aligned with him during Horror on the Hill, to finish out finding what's left within the remnants, and maybe driving out the forces that are constantly, occasionally, I should say constantly, by that I mean no matter what they do, occasional or not, even if they wipe out the entire force, they come back again and again, especially when people poke within the gorge itself.
Poke and prod.
Her goal, and the goal of the followers of the God King, whatever you want to call it, are to wipe out everything there and make absolutely certain that they're not going to show up again.
There we go.
Now,
Hi.
in the midst of all that, tasked with a unit that Nam knows very well, he broke off in the proper alignment with 10 individuals to delve into the deep of the halls.
Yes.
During their excursion, they found several people that were horrifically injured and brought them back, heading to the camp to make sure they were successfully recovered. However, the camp itself came under attack. They arrived to find out that most of the camp itself had been stricken with sleep poison, which was very fast acting. And the last man standing managed to finish off the 6 bandits that were left over. And somehow, just the way he was, exhausted, they arrived, and there was nothing but, well, corpses left behind. The questions could not be answered, but it was indicated that absolutely the intention was to take people prisoner. Now, to break it all down, those that were poisoned mostly needed to be taken back to the forts, because in the old editions, you couldn't just miraculously be saved from poison. You couldn't just miraculously be saved from dropping to 0 or lower. Once you were dropped to 0 or lower, the healing spells were more than enough to save you, but you weren't just going to wake up tomorrow and go, ha. All right, so that's just some speculation on my part, I guess. So they were recovered, they were stabilized. The last unit was actually replenished by what would be considered recruits, to be said the most. Rista, the Knight Lieutenant that's in charge of the location, Rista Saint, has said the forces must continue to search because we have found people who have been suffering, and that I will hold this position while the rest of the semi-elite forces that are still stationary will move back to the keep with the wounded and the poisoned, and I will stay here with the green recruits, knowing full well that this group of mercenaries, bandits or whatever they are, is probably a one-off thing. They didn't come from the south. She knows that much. They probably came from the north somewhere. And she seems secure in the fact that it's possible they're not coming back. But there is concern about goblins, hobgoblins, orcs.
Oh, indeed.
So,
And Nom has ensured that she has the antidotes and how much those antidotes matches to the sleeping poison. So that was where we left that camp.
yeah, so essentially, what I'll recap the rest of it. I kind of went on. You gathered up with DaGaunt, which was the knight adjutant to the first infantry unit. Traveling with DaGaunt, Dominic, who you've named, Gregory, who was a named scout from the time, Kiana and Kuri. Both of those are religious individuals. You'll be traveling with Livia, I believe, and Estienne, all named by you. Completely cut down from the original 10 individuals.
Number 5 and number 6 went, and because number 5 was a little too willing.
Well, all of them either went back to the keep or are now supporting Rista as she holds the position at the camp.
Yes. That is correct.
So, to fill some weird shit out, you traveled back into the gorge, which is scattered with trees, and if you look on some of the higher sections of the canyon, Fox Canyon as it is, passages here and there. So, given choices, you were either going to go in through the goblin lair that you've been before, or you were going to head up the side of the hill, precariously challenging your way to the path that leads to the entrance that is close to where you last were. As the advisor, DaGaunt looks back at you. We already decided this, but we're going to go ahead and give the decide again. DaGaunt looks back and says, "Oh, well, we know that entrance is somewhere we have been, but haven't been." He looks back, "Well, I wasn't with the second infantry. Oh, the first infantry that you were with at the time. We can either head to that tunnel that I'm pretty sure is tied to what we've been to, or we can head back through the strewn debris of the goblin tunnels."
It would be probably best we go through the goblin tunnels that we were always going through, because me and Gregory and with the second infantry were ambushed in the upper sections, and it has a way to get up to those upper cliff areas.
But didn't you clear them all out according to the information you provided to the council?
No, we said that, but that was our assumption because we killed 2.
So you lied to the Margravine.
No.
That's what you're telling
me. No. Let me say this. We told the truth by our assumption of the layout. We killed a chieftain orc of the time. So we didn't lie. We were very much under the assumption we cleared out those areas. But
Gregory leans in and says, "Well, what I encountered alongside my friend here was some hobgoblin resistance.
Yes.
And a goblin of some significance. Now, we probably reported that in our messages. However, so you know, just to remind you, you have not actually encountered, outside of the invasion, orcs."
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins, absolutely.
Clarification, hobgoblin, yes.
I think maybe an ogre.
No, the ogre was mentioned in the invasion, but we never encountered it.
Yeah, but goblins and hobgoblins.
No.
Orc, no. You fought an orc during the invasion when you repelled them at the keep.
So let me correct that. It was a hobgoblin that ambushed us. A hobgoblin security guard head.
Well, and you also raided one of the chieftain rooms.
Yes. So we raided. We killed the shaman, the chief, 2 chieftains, and a hobgoblin of a higher rank. Is essentially what I was saying.
So Gregory says, we didn't lie about anything. It's just the problem is the races here are so prolific, they keep coming back.
And that we...
So if you want to wander all the way up there, having experienced nothing, and find yourself surrounded by the hobgoblin hordes, or if you want to go down into the goblin location and work our way back up the way we have been for a while, you can go ahead. Gregory leans over to you and goes, what about the kitchen section that we cooked through? It's on a lower level. I don't think we completed the whole thing, did we?
We do have one passage, but if I recall correctly from the passages, we actually connected to the cook area with the torture chamber, and that gone into the area of the shaman.
Sir DeGaunt steps in, listening as best he can through the helmet, pulls it off with a grimace, and growls at you. Are you sure everything's ready to go? Because I've got men behind me, and you're starting to sound like you don't know everything you're talking about.
I do know it. Everything is fine.
Then he takes a moment to realize that you guys had served together before. But you remember that DeGaunt himself were sent out multiple times, and you hadn't been you had not been included into his organization very much.
So, and I will voice, DeGaunt, I understand your concern here in this case.
The main concern is you're an advisor, and your advice bounces between several places.
Yes, so what I'm trying to say in this case with Gregory, because I have been through here with Gregory, it is best that we go through the tunnels we're already familiarized and branch out from there.
Well, you see the golden, almost bronze-clad individual of Kiana just step up and go, oh, Sir DeGaunt, how little faith you have.
Here he goes.
Perhaps myself, and perhaps I could provide some insight to you. Of course, how much coin do you have on yourself? I mean, obviously, as a priest, I do desire enough compensation to make up for the fact that I'm dealing with a lesser being. The individual with the golden mask behind him moves up, also in gleaming bronze and or gold style indications. And Corey is like, no, relax. Well, you are what you...
Oh no, you cut out. Omen.
I stopped it, however. Yes?
Please repeat what was about to say, because you cut out exactly as the paladin was saying. Calm down.
Well, actually, the paladin didn't say much after that.
No, the paladin did, but you cut out absolutely perfectly.
Oh, you mean the priest?
Yeah.
Oh, he just kind of like waved his hand imperiously and said, whatever.
I'm telling you, it's not picking you up very often.
Okay, so is it not enough to play? Is that what you're saying?
No, it is. I didn't.
So what do you mean not very often? Not very often seems like not enough to actually hear a sentence.
Excuse me. No, what I meant was when you tried to do the priest and the paladin, that was when it wasn't trying to pick you up.
Okay, that sounds like a very brief thing.
It is a
rather
brief thing.
than
my
the
bad.
entire thing being fucked up.
No, it is a brief thing. You were heard everywhere else.
Okay, it was brief.
Yeah.
The main problem was those two.
Yes.
Well, of course it'll be their problems. They're pretentious.
That is true. So yes, that was the yes.
Well, you guys have traveled, obviously, back into the base of the gorge. The two paths were brought up. You have suggested the goblin location.
Yes.
DeGaunt is not entirely convinced. He sees just on the ridge past a tree where you guys had last entertain yourselves, having rolled his intelligence. He's basically like, if I angled everything up, that's to where we were all last at. However, he puts his helmet back on, sliding the visor down, and says, so be it. Let us head into this location that you suggest.
Yes.
That he had been here before, merely a day ago.
And there is a reason for it. We are not sure if the cafeteria area has been refilled. And that's where we lost a lot of people.
Gregory doesn't mean it at all. Gregory just says, oh, well, so everything else has been refilled.
And we lost
not as secure. But they have all been semi-replaced.
Yes, so going back or going to the way that we originally came from when we finished all of it and finally it got out would not be wise.
So you head into the ground level.
Yes.
Tunnel. And we'll go ahead and reread that for you, even though you don't need it, but you'll probably remember it. Go ahead and slide on along. Okay, Delta. The entrance to the area is marked with a natural crack running through the stones that forms a jagged cave. Rubble is strewn about the opening, and it's possible that motion can be seen occasionally. This time, there does not appear to be any motion readily apparent. The entrance is unremarkable save for its size. It's 10 feet wide and 7 feet tall. The walls are formed of a mixture of earth and stone. Whoa, and in the light, since this is early, in the light outside, there seems to be passages that lurch outward beyond. There's basically three passages that you can see directly. The south passage looks to be as though it was an unfinished continuation of the entrance. This being carved crudely from the walls and leads to what appears to be a dead end. The southeast passage seems to be part of the natural cave system itself and branches east and southeast, possibly some 30 feet down the tunnel. The west branch quickly begins to show signs of unnatural tunneling. While crude, it is relatively straight and ends ahead in what appears to be a T intersection. Now, you guys have been through here multiple times. You know that the southwestern passage heads to a branch here and there, eventually opening up into a room with several spears that have been scattered around, and will ultimately lead you up a series of stairs into a room you were just recently in.
Yes.
You know that if you head due west, you'll enter into a T intersection. However, the last time you were here, there was a guard chamber of some sort, of some significant size.
Yes.
And beyond that, you recall a common room of some sort, also sizable.
Yes.
And then,
correct.
Of course, you went on to defeat the chieftain within the room past that.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that those rooms are empty.
No, especially since they've got walkers as well.
Well, the patrols and whatnot are interesting. The life forms themselves seem to be replenishing at a weird interval, or a weird volume, I should say.
That's true, yes.
And occasionally, just like the body that you found originally in the initial examination of the broken caravan, you will find a grimacing face tattoo here and there,
That's true, yeah.
indicating a religious bend. However, you haven't
Yes,
seen magic tied to something like that in a long time.
that is correct. Yeah, I have not. The closest magic I've seen was that shaman. Uh,
And it seems loosely tied to the beast that you saw on the hill in the relief
yes.
doors.
So, it would be best that we go up those stairs and from the guard room with the stairs that
The
goes to
gaunt
the.
pauses in the middle of this dim gray light that you guys have entered.
That's right.
If we were going to go up these stairs, we should have just went up through the path.
There's a reason for it, Dagant. Trust me. If they replenish the numbers, which they did, we will encounter things that otherwise would have ambushed us.
He takes a deep breath, nods, begrudgingly at this point. He's not usually a dick to you in that way. It's just quite literally he's been through here before, and it hasn't been very long.
Dagant, I'm gonna say
Dominic
this.
and Gregory lead the way.
And I will talk to Gaunt while we're walking. Dagant, I'm gonna tell you exactly what occurred the first time that we arrived with the 2nd Infantry.
First, he's the 2nd Infantry.
No, excuse me, the 1st Infantry. Yes, correction, the 1st Infantry. We lost too many people to the unknown. That occurred. We lost people to a shaman in the cafeteria area because he was swarmed by people because he was charmed into it. We lost to an ambush to a hobgoblin security guard from the looks of it when we arrived to an armory because there was a secret door. We've lost a lot of people.
My dear advisor, I read your report.
Yes.
I also listened to some of the suggestions you brought up during council meetings.
Oh.
I
We're here. It's
fail to
fine.
see any changes in this particular movement. However, you've been right so far in that replacements have occurred.
That is my only concern right now, is there has been replacements. I was not accounting for replacements when I wrote that report. I should have.
Well, then, I guess we continue.
Yes.
You find your way to the stairs, which leads to a landing, which leads to another set of stairs, that leads to a 20-foot hallway that ends to a door that is still open. The room is scattered with a few corpses, including children. The passage beyond that leads into a snaking tunnel, built partially of natural tunnel, and the rest of it chiseled out with what appears to be crude tools. To the south, you smell again the brimstone and the cook fires and the grease of people. But it seems as if the fires might have burnt out.
That makes sense.
Turning right at the end of the passageway, should you decide not to go back to it, you find a passage to the left that leads to dull gray light filtering in from what you remember being a tunnel on the side of the gorge that has a way up that was already mentioned whether or not you were going to take it.
Yeah, and we were going to take it. Yeah.
To your left is a passage that leads away. Directly ahead of you is a diagonal passage that, to your memory, because you haven't gone to the other one.
No, yeah.
Your memory leads to it leads to a guard room that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
In fact, you almost met them again. Crossbows, primarily their attack.
Oh, yeah.
But as you approach that location, should you decide to, do you head south or do you head across?
We don't. There wasn't really anything else in that guard room. And if you
South
wanna-
of the entranceway, or straight, which would end up in being northwest.
I was definitely going for that dim light. So
The dim light you can easily see walking up.
yeah,
The intersection
so
is
straight.
south, as said, northwest, as said. And if you look north directly, you can see the the piercing gray light of day, which I mentioned.
Yes, so
like
north.
50
Yeah. North.
Actually opens up to a passage about 60 feet
Oh, I whacked
above
my
the
microphone.
gorge bottom. There's
North.
a path that does lead its way back down to the location that you came from, which was D.
Yes, so it was north. It was north.
Yeah, if you go north, you'll find an opening that shows an entire cliff face, amongst other things.
Yes. Ooh, that was not what I wanted.
But if you
Sorry.
want to look out across, you can.
I was gonna go with north. That was the.
All right, northward. You travel 20 feet. It opens up into the breath of air. You can feel the wind against your face. It's a dull gray day, as seems to want to be. To your right, all the way down at the bottom of the gorge, i.e. the canyon.
Oh, excuse me, might mute myself.
You can barely make out a passage leading in from somewhere below, possibly surrounded by trees, or a tree. On the higher section of that side, you can see a tunnel leading dark. Looking to your left from up here, you can barely make out some sort of strange opening in a thick grove.
Area.
Other than that, looking almost directly ahead of you, you can see another cavernous passage leading in on an upper cliff. Above that grove that was mentioned is another cavern that leads into the cliff walls. And you can't make out anything else because the wall above you is almost 60 feet in a sheer climb. So you can make out basically almost 6 passageways. One might not be a passageway. Maybe just a hollow in the woodlands that are down.
So 6 passageways. Gregory.
Yeah?
Probably best to figure out what kind of tracks we've got up here.
It's a mixed bunch. Here mostly, maybe some human-sized tracks. He takes a check. Yeah, there's human-sized tracks, hobbit-sized tracks. I assume the human-sized are hobgoblins. The halfling tracks are probably about the size of a goblin. Nothing else. Well, I suppose maybe the human-sized tracks are orcs. The only reason I don't say that much is because orcs are taller and heavier.
Yes.
Judging from the tracks here, about 80% of them are probably hobgoblin. Though there are some heavier ones that might also be stiffer hobgoblins.
Yes. So I was wondering about the age of them or how recent.
Within a few hours.
Okay.
They come and go like nothing's changed.
All right. So now I have to map out in my brain, off table. I have to map out in my brain the 6 passages.
All right. Well, to your right, across at about almost 80 feet up the cliff, is an entryway that is quite a solid cave. Also to your right and down low looks like a twisted set of roots, but at this angle you can see a passage leading into them. If you look directly across, straight ahead, you can see what may be another passage about 70 feet off the ground on the cliff face. There's a thick copse of trees between it and the rest of the hillock, and you're not sure what's in there. It doesn't matter, at least directly that you can see. If you look to the left, you do see an open passage that is made of cracked stone, and directly below it is a thick series of woodland that is absolutely out of nowhere. Thick trees like a grove, but there's a dark spot that you think might be an entryway. And that's what you can see. You can see 1, high ground, 2, low ground, 3, high ground, 4, high ground, 5, low, maybe not a tunnel at all. And we'll stop there.
Right, no, yeah. So we do kind of want some high ground, if that's the assumption here.
Well, it's completely across the gorge from it.
Yeah.
From this opening, you were standing 3, 5, 6, 7, 10. You're standing 100 feet above the ground.
Yes. So
there's some switchbacks that lead you all the way back down to the goblin.
Yeah. Okay, so that means left or right?
That means if you decide to go back in, it will be right or straight. If you decide to not go back in, you can go all the way back down, or you can try to circle the gorge above. The first thing you will come across above will be a cave that goes into the side of the cliff. This would be you literally standing on the edge of the gorge with a narrow path amongst stone that will lead you to other places. If you follow the gorge all the way around, if that's possible, you can get to the earlier upper caves.
Oh,
or
right.
You can go down to the goblin section and head towards that strange tree root section that does show tunnels. Possibly.
Right. I think I'm a little lost in your description here. So I think...
All right, let's stop and just think. You can go back into the hole and follow tunnels. Or you can stand outside the hole and wander left, i.e. west, around the gorge walls, finding holes as you want until you can't go anymore. Or you can go down the cliff to the place you originally came in at on the bottom and cross the gorge to another opening. Those are the options. Go in the tunnel, go around the cliffs, or go back down the cliffs to the entrance you came through. Those are your options.
Okay, so that's...
Does that help?
Yeah.
You're kind of drunk, so I don't know how far you're going to get on it.
No. It's not. That's not why I was questioning it. I was listening.
Okay, what was the question? Why was there a question?
Oh, because I was listening what you were saying, and I got confused about when I wrote the notes. You said 6 passages.
You're literally
so I was like,
you're high up. You were high up on a cliff.
Yes. So I was just going to probably...
You're like 80 feet or so, 60 feet, I don't care.
Right.
You're more than 50 feet. You're more than 50 feet up on a cliff.
So,
and there's a path you can kind of take going around it.
So I was going to ask you in person to just...
What you're kind of doing right now. What do you want?
No, I meant like so I could hear you in person, physically, without the.
Well, there's nothing that's going to change. You can't see the map.
No, yeah, yeah.
All right, here's what it is. Go back into the cave, or make a left, follow the wall, or make a right and go down the cliff. Those are your options.
Okay. I'm just.
That's the easiest way to do it. I say what you saw, but that doesn't matter because it's confusing you. If you go left,
that wasn't confusing me. That I just wanted to make sure I
Well,
had stuff written correctly.
well, I hope so.
But I just erased it all because I.
Why would you erase it?
I don't know.
Well, because you're drunk and you're
No,
drunk. And
it's not about me being drunk at this current moment. Oh my goodness.
it's because I was poorly describing things.
No, you're describing it just fine. I got confused. That it's a me thing. I was going to accept it was a me thing. I was being confused.
I don't know why you're erasing stuff, but
so let me.
You want the easiest way to say it. I said it already. The easiest way. If you want me to describe what you can see, that's great. You can't just walk over to any of them. You have to either go around, or go up, or be on the bottom.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yes, that.
Yeah, the easiest thing to say. Okay, I said what you can see. Congratulations. That does not matter apparently.
Okay, so no, it does. It does.
You're standing outside. If you go left and follow the paths around, you will probably come to holes. In fact, you'll come to several holes.
Yes.
If you go right down the cliff through a couple switchbacks, you'll be back at the gorge floor.
Okay.
And across the way, obviously across the way from this angle, you can see a passage going in on the ground level that's not goblin related. So, short story. You can go back the way you came, you can go left, or you can go back down the passage till you get back to the bottom of the gorge.
Yes.
That's three things. Three things. Go left, go back inside, or go down. Solved?
And I understood what you meant was the others. I just wanted to make sure I had it down correctly.
I know. I mentioned too many things that you can't get to. I just wanted to mention what you could see.
So I see the above me, that entrance, directly ahead.
Several things. Stop. Several things that you don't need to worry about. If you move left, you will find holes. You can't see what's above you.
Okay. Yes.
I was describing things on the other side of the cliff that were just a little higher level than you, and I shouldn't have because it's confusing.
No, it was not confusing. I was trying to confirm with you on that one. I was trying to confirm.
And I'm finishing it out. Across the chasm,
yes,
there are some things that are slightly taller than where you're at.
And yes,
none of it matters because the less confusing part is if you follow the left wall, you'll encounter holes. Caves.
Yes.
So just turn left, follow the cliffs. You can find caves. You know that there are some taller than where you are on the opposite side. You can't see anything behind you.
Yes.
Yet. So.
I'm gonna BRB for a moment.
Sure. Not against it. All I'm saying is.
Hello, hello. Really quickly. Okay, as a player, I do occasionally have to ask the DM, the game master, some things in person. We did clarify. I'll have Omen re-describe the area. I got it properly written in my notes, so everything is perfectly fine. Right now, I'm letting Omen get a shot, essentially, and finish telling like a little silly story, and then he will come back. So no worries. So back to intermission real quick. Thank you for being here. Alright, we are finally back. And now I give it to Omen! Omen, go, go, go.
Okay, to solve the questions. Nam and the lead sections step out into a pale gray light. Well before noon. And across from them is a cliff, which is to be expected as they stand on a section of cliff themselves. A path to the left leads to what appears to be all the access to various little caves along that section. Perhaps. Altitude changes here and there, doesn't matter. To the right is a low sloping switchback. Goes back and forth until it comes down to the entrance they came in through. However, from the angle they're looking at, they can see a partition in the roots of a large tree that may be an opening. Now, beneath the caverns and whatnot to the left, at the bottom of a cliff, is a dark, sinister-looking forest filled with a thick pall, maybe a fog or something dark. And behind them is the passages that they know so far. And that's where I leave us.
Yes, so in this case, Nam will, of course, be discussing with Gregory and DaBun in the opening of the fact that now that we could see this area, the last time we were up here, it was dark and we couldn't see much. And I think, from what my memory recalls, we gone along the open passage, the left, up to the first cave.
Well, when you retreated, you went back down inside.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, we didn't go outside. Yeah, that's right.
You just tucked back inside, went down past the stairs and passages, and then went out through the entranceway you came from. From here, though, you can see the entranceway you came from.
Yeah. So this is something to take note of from the passage that we came from. Or the passage we started from, I should say. So with that, we come to the understanding of the left passage allows us to go to more of the openings and potential openings we can see.
If you follow the left path along the cliff, you think that you'll come through near to several other openings. In fact, a lot of them share the same level as you do, but not like directly.
Right.
So the path you follow would be uneven. And I think it doesn't matter if I mention the elevation or whatnot, because that would be something I did for someone who's going to do a zillion things magically.
Yes, and I'm not doing a zillion things magically.
If you follow the narrow beaten path, the first narrow beaten path above the gorge floor, you will come across several passageways. There's at least there's definitely one that would come up relatively soon. Beyond that, a cluster of trees covers a series of sections on the angled passageway. I'm going to say stuff that you're not going to be able to filter completely. But on your way at that level, you will come across a copse of trees. Now, below you is the copse that I mentioned that has shadows and darkness floating through. The copse of trees above that I mentioned are just fucking trees.
Yes.
If you continue to follow your path around, you will come to another cave that you are now aware of that you weren't aware of before. If you continue, there will be another large copse of trees. And beyond that, you will see the first ever second-tier cave that you had experienced when you came in.
Yes, that is exactly the case. So with the stone here. I was thinking of something that I could use as a marker. And then I suddenly came to a realization I don't have anything that can be used as marking. That can be used on stone.
But you're nowhere near any of them, so unless you're going to shoot an arrow covered in paint.
Oh, no, I meant for this opening. This opening.
This opening is easy to find. I will describe it because it's been a while.
That's true. Yeah.
If I may.
You may.
Very well then. This opening is easy to describe because it's similar to the one you came through, only it's external. Now, we're going to go ahead and add some other stuff in here just because I'm going to read it. The offspring of humans and goblins, the hobgoblins feel that they are superior to the goblins in general. They work with their small kin, but hold a diminished view of them. They have since created their own subculture within the tribe and focus upon collecting more human women and or men, mostly women. The Yagma hobgoblins tend to be more pale-skinned than the average goblin. They range from 5'8" to 6'1". Most have oily black hair, though they can have startlingly bright colored eyes, while red eyes are common, usually, when in the dark. Their eye colors range from cold black to ice blue and green. Now, the entry point itself is a door that is outside, so not the door aspect.
Okay.
There are skulls and whatnot in the pockets in and around the area. Similar to the passageway that you guys came through originally.
Yes.
There is no sign of the painted or crudely scrawled words of welcome to dinner or whatever, of anything of that sort. But they clearly show finger painting of various types. You know this place. You don't need to know too much about it.
Yeah.
Because you've been here at least 3 times now.
Yes.
You do know that it opens up into a passage. You do know exactly where it opens up to. You do know the easiest path to get here because you've come here 3 times, and every time you've looked out to your right and down a winding path is the original entrance you came through.
Yes.
The thing that indicates beyond that is the extremely superiority-based racial inclinations of the half-breeds.
That's correct.
They use almost everything as slaves, if they can. But they can't stand against orcs, nor can they stand against the bugbears and whatnot that lurk in the deeper places. But you knew that because you had traveled into the hill.
Yes.
The hill itself had a hierarchy.
Oh, it did.
You found that out real quickly.
Oh yeah.
So let's go back to what you want to do.
With this, the left side to see, because I know for a fact that at least goes to one of the openings.
Several openings.
Several. But keeping in mind of the first upcoming potential opening.
Pretty says, you want to hunt that thing down? You want to hit that entrance? Or do you want to go back inside and clear the rest of this?
Well, I'll be right here to clear out everything, so...
Dominic looks over his shoulder. I'm not afraid of anything.
Well, in this case, we haven't gone into the higher ranks, so we'll see how everything maps out. We were supposed to be able to, but we lost too many people when the first time we gone through.
DaBun says, you're the advisor. I'm sorry I was a bit harsh with you.
You have every reason to be understanding in the case of your people and everything, your men. So
Are we going to follow the cliffside?
we will
Now,
be.
from what I read, if I may,
You may.
your report suggested that in the passageways we've been before, there was a guard station and some sort of armory.
Yes.
Yes?
The armory we gotten, most of the Talonbrooks is full plate and the chainmail. Yes.
And according to the continuation of your suggestion, was that you found a dining / camping area, which you guys fought against and defeated.
Yes.
And that you progressed further.
We did.
And I will kind of quote you on this, if I may. And he actually does pull out a scroll and start perusing.
You may.
At that point in time, Gregory's like, we are wasting time. Just, no. This will be very quick.
Because it's something I'm going to know. It's right there on the tip of my tongue.
In the lower sections, you found a storage room.
Yes.
Very large one, in fact.
Yes.
That was not the armor.
Exactly.
In fact, I've seen that it has a massive chamber filled with to the brim with sacks, crates, barrels, and bins.
Yes.
Cloth, dried fruits,
Correct.
salted meats, casks of beer, ale, grain, wine.
Correct.
All average of quality.
Things we could not.
And it seems to have been piled up over time, likely goods stolen from the caravan, yes?
Yes. Things we cannot bring back. Correct.
So the lower halls were those, and the upper halls ended in an armory.
Yes.
Yet somehow and somewhere you fought and killed a chieftain.
Yes.
Yes?
There was a particular room.
With what appears to be his womenfolk in tow.
Yes.
And we've been through a small bit of the complex, and I can't say where.
Oh, okay. So you remember the cafeteria that you are going to quote to me? Yes, the place that we managed to kill many goblins, many goblins, set fire even. On top of that, the statues that's supposed to be the support beam, set fire, all of that kind of stuff was a shaman and co. Right, that location.
Sure.
All right, there was a passage.
Yeah.
There was a passageway, if I recall, to the north of that.
The south of that corrects you with Gregory.
Thank you. Yes, the south of that. I'm trying to go off of a certain amount of memory. The south of that.
Gregory says, yeah, to the north is what you're talking about. However, to the south is what he's about to talk about.
Right. I'm talking about the chieftain in this case. So, yes. The south of that, there is a particular room which has a banner. Oh, if I could bring that tapestry back, which I could not, because we did not have the room to, I would have brought the tapestry back. Because that particular room had fine silks, had a bedroom where he and his women, the chief, his women, and his child, were at. Do you want to go there, Dagant?
Well, look. Does it seem logical or no? But I've followed you through everything so far and found nothing but replaced factors. Things that you, quote unquote, have already seen.
Things that I've already murdered, but that's because there's a theory here.
I've served with you before. Don't take what I say as insult. What I say is things that helps both of us.
Right.
So what you're telling me is we don't need to go back inside.
What I'm going to say in this case is that there's probably not one chieftain. There's probably more. So we probably might have to go back inside, because the maybe replacement chieftain might be just as weak as the replacements, but someone's replacing those chiefsmen. Somebody is out there replacing them.
Nom must roll a perception.
Because I'm about ready to recall something that I remember.
No, not intelligence or wisdom. Perception.
1. Mother frickin' 1.
Gregory as well got a 2. As you guys are talking, you're on the cliffside. Passages going left and right. It's broad daylight. You and Gregory both having keen ears, because Gregory rolled a 2. Hear movement back in the passages. Light footfalls are moving somewhere within the gloom. And your shadows, quite literally at this point in time, are stretching into the passageway itself. Your entire group's shadows are pushing into the darkness.
DaBun?
Doesn't seem like much unless someone sees light interspersed with bodies. It's possibly a patrol. Could be something else.
Could be many things. But in this case, we are standing in the doorway with light going in.
Well, you're at a cliff.
Yes.
The sunlight, the only way in is going behind you.
Yes.
So yeah. Unless you guys all step to one side or the other of the entrance, yeah, you're giving off your silhouettes into the dark.
We're going to start moving to the left, and there's a reason for this, along the cliffside.
Okay.
We can continue our discussion once all of us are out of view of the passageway.
All right. So you guys move, we assume, first.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and roll this thing. Yes, luckily, your group moves before they do.
Oh, yeah.
Do they notice, I wonder? Ah, freaking fingers.
I heard that.
Well, it went for freaking ever.
It did.
I tried to pick up what I rolled, and then God, dang it!
Oh no!
And then my fingers failed.
Oh.
Yeah, the patrol seems okay. So you guys move out of the way as fast as you can. Having picked it up, you guys, both you and Gregory, suggested to the group, and congratulations, you guys moved fast as you can. However, rolling a 5, the patrol of whatever it is, and you can hear a sound that seems akin to a bark almost. Not like a knoll bark, but just a yank of what they're saying. Very clipped and sharp and deep. Clearly they didn't just walk on by.
No.
You hear that they've made some mention of something. Now, unless you have goblinoid, humanoid, or something like that.
No.
You don't know what they're saying. So, fingers move. You guys bend yourselves out of the way. They rolled a 5, which is a pretty freaking good roll.
It is, yeah.
Gregory filters the area. Immediately as you come out, he yanks portions of the shrubbery, which is barely tied to the hill itself,
Oh.
without actually uprooting it. He just yanks it sharply so that when they start to come out, it causes problems.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to do? Op?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to opt because there's not going to be. I'm looking at stuff real quickly, but I am opting. Yeah, I don't have anything that's not going to make it obvious a wizard's
Well,
casting
unless you
stuff.
guys go to war, they can't tell.
Yeah.
You're not even noon yet. The sun is just now spearing through the gorge. The sun rising in the east, of course.
Yes.
Right now, it's swallowing the entirety of the outer section. Gregory yanking the foliage itself is enough to disrupt their vision.
Yes.
So
I will opt.
While they can see in normal spectrum, it's painful right now. The sky is gray and sharp. It's not golden sun. It's not beaming down, but it's piercing and almost white. The air is chilled, and what was there retracts itself back into the passage you came from. You're on the cliff. They go back into the tunnel that you came from.
All right.
Well, Dominic says, hey, we can go back in and fight with them. We can go around the hill. The Gaunt says nothing. He looks at you quietly,
We'll be going.
as if everything he had said before was kind of an insult. Get that impression, and he didn't mean it, but he just becomes quiet.
There is a softened gaze at Dagant, knowing that I don't think what he said is an insult to me at all. Very much suggestions are welcome. I will voice that it's probably best that we start doing the round about. I don't want to directly go towards the enemy. Not
Gregory says that works in the short run. Things that activate in darkness.
Yes. But in long term, we're going to have problems.
Well, Dagant says, sheepishly, it seems we have plenty of time.
We do. So, in this case, we're going to probably go along the cliffside and roundabout the best we can. I know for a fact we'll come across passages we're going to be refamiliarized with eventually.
So you had left.
Yes.
Across a narrow passage that leads ahead of you. That I may.
You may.
Okay. The pale light of day slowly stretches on. Your passage itself is quick enough that the timing doesn't matter as much. You're still pre-noon as you come across the first hole. However, about 60 to 70 feet below you are the treetops of some sort of strange, gloomy forest. It's really a grove, not really a forest itself, tightened against the cliff itself. Trees are twisted, black, wilting in places, and the air below is pale. What I mean by that is not so much anything other than weak.
Yes.
Your deepest parts above it show maybe at this angle a brief opening against the cliff face, but you don't see anything else.
Excuse me.
However, you immediately come across your initial destination that you can see quite well from where you are.
Yes.
I have to have you roll a 6-sided
I
before we get there
will.
completely.
Yep.
And then we're going to move on to me not rolling a 6-sided, telling you what it is.
Yes. I rolled you a 1.
You really rolled a 1.
Yes, you can come and look for yourself.
I don't need to look. I'm just like, fuck.
I did. I rolled a 1. We're gonna fight on the cliff tops, is what you're telling me?
There's actually a rules section.
Oh. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that.
Oh, we don't need to right now.
We'll definitely have to keep it in mind.
You travel along the narrow single file. Dominic leading the way, supported by Gregory, followed by DaBun, and then you. And then Kiana, who hasn't said much recently, but has had a smirk on his face, and his paladin behind him,
Of course, a little smoke
wearing
master.
a gilded mask of glorious gold. In fact, his cuirass, as has been stated before, is coated in gold, despite the fact that it's actually kind of a hardened form of leather. Livia and Estienne bring up the rear slowly. None of them are nervous. However, you have 3 feet on the side that you could potentially fall off of. However, you come to the edge and finally find this passage. 60 feet from the bottom of the gorge floor, about 30 feet past the tree line on the western wall, lies a rather imposing cave. The entrance is 15 feet tall, and a haphazard jumble of debris is scattered around the opening. Bones, cloth, rusted metal, and moldy hide is just a bit of the rubbish that can be seen. From what you can tell, the inside of the cavern, in the dim gray light, are is a couple of branches that lead up to something else. You smell something that smells like sour milk.
Oh no.
And meat. Had you ever spent any time outside of a slaughterhouse?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'm just saying. You smell soured milk and what would seem like meat.
Yep.
Butchered meat.
Ooh. Oh. Yeah. Here it is. Oh. That's human meat.
Meat alone.
Ah, true. Yeah. Da 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 da. I'm letting
Anyway,
you-
do you want to stop here and make notes?
Yes, I actually made notes. We got the single file. I'm gonna make note of the fact that my 6-sided rolled a
You're outside of a new cave.
1, and yes, we're outside of a new cave.
New cave. It smells.
Cave smells like soured milk, correct?
Soured milk and meat.
Yes.
The outside is covered in rotted cloth, rusted metal, and other such things.
That got your phone in there.
My phone is actually jumping. Hold on a sec.
Meat with rotted leather. Rotted leather or cloth?
Yeah, moldy leather, etc., etc.
Yeah, moldy
It seems
leather.
as if equipment has been left behind in an unusual, unsalvageable condition.
Yeah.
Things have died here. Things have been kicked out here. And no bodies remain. So something has been eating, drinking, destroying anything that comes out.
And that is a good spot for us.
To end.
Yes. I got the notes.
I'm sorry to everybody about anything and everything.
Actually, I should apologize because it was my end. But
Well, at
is
your
good.
backs right now, you're still not past morning.
No.
Noon still awaits its climb.
Yes.
However, you've gone towards the western section of the caverns.
But due to what time it is,
Prior to noon, you will start seeing sunlight and shadow.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, whatever you were saying.
Oh, no, I was going to let you finish. That's why I muted.
Well, that was how I finished, kind of.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was, with the time that we have, that was a good stopping point for Nom.
Well, clearly is a good stopping point. What's wrong with me?
Nom, the Crimson March, keep the Borderlands. I've got the notes and everything. I do apologize for the intermission.
Copy that.
And we'll be calling it good night, good day, good evening, and good afternoon. Omen is my game master.
Today.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.